Good day and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the Voice of Reason. So I wanted to conduct a brief update on the ongoing crisis between the Russian Federation and Ukraine. So the buildup in terms of Russian forces appears to be both continuing, but at the same time, it would also appear to be reducing. So let me explain. So initial reports on the this alleged Russian withdrawal of forces from near Ukraine are in fact occurring, and that is mainly occurring with units that were brought into the Crimean Peninsula. So it would appear that certain unidentified units are in fact being moved out of Crimea. However, the forces that were moved into place in other parts of the areas around Ukraine are still continuing. And what we are seeing is logistic nodes being put into place. Again, these logistic nodes are rather complex, and you just don't assemble these forces, assemble these areas where you would have logistical capabilities and then remove them. At the same time, major combat elements that were moved into areas along the border of Ukraine are still in place, and there's no sign as of yet that these units are going to be withdrawn. So it would appear that Russia has put into place the capability of a limited offensive action if needed in the areas of eastern Ukraine. It would appear that some options may have been reduced in terms of any kind of operation that would get launched out of the Crimea, and that's simply based on early reports of some forces being removed. But that, again, you have to really take that with a grain of salt. I would assume that Russian capability to operate in the environs around the Crimea probably are still present, and any operation that the Russians had planned, be it along the coast of the Sea of Azov, or more around western Ukraine could happen. Now, I do not believe we will see any sort of operation in western Ukraine, especially in regards to some sort of amphibious operation. We may see something like that in the Sea of Azov. That's a possibility. And again, localized engagements with the separatist forces in the east is also a real possibility. The Russians continue to facilitate a very robust capability in terms of conducting a rather intense air campaign as Air Force units and air defense units have been brought closer to the area of operation. And I would suspect that in the event of conflict, the Russian Air Force would play a big role in any conflict because of the Russian air superiority and the sheer amount of ground attack aircraft that the Russians possess. But again, as I anticipated, we would not see an all-out invasion of Ukraine. Now, that's not to say we could see something happen. I believe Vladimir Putin, has been given a range of options should he decide to proceed with any sort of military option. But he certainly has a range of options that have been placed on the table by his general staff. And I would think that the sort of military operations that could play out would depend in large part upon the success of any sort of initial operation. But again, I really believe the Russian opportunity presented itself in 2014, and the Russians chose not to advance that ability that was presented itself. But again, we will keep an eye on the situation and report as we see it. Thanks, everybody.